Before we start, is this on Facebook Live also, or just YouTube?
Yeah, I'm about to post it on Facebook Live now. We are live now, Brandon. We're about to let the candidates in. And we apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. We're admitting candidates in now.
Before we start, is this on Facebook Live also, or just YouTube?
Yeah, I'm about to post it on Facebook Live now. We are live now, Brandon. We're about to let the candidates in. And we apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. We're admitting candidates in now.
Before we start, is this on Facebook Live also, or just YouTube?
Yeah, I'm about to post it on Facebook Live now. We are live now, Brandon. We're about to let the candidates in.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Dawn Abear, and I'm the chairman of Voters East of the Industrial Canal. I want everyone to know that this is an open forum and welcome everyone to the District E Public Candidate Forum. A group of concerned voters who believe that their voices were not heard, their issues, concerns, and questions were not being addressed in the many PAC-hosted forums and debates, resulting in the establishment of Voters East of the Industrial Canal in 2011 by voters for voters, providing an open forum where candidates can holistically engage voters who are the true decision makers on election day. All candidates were invited to participate. Tonight's questions were solicited and submitted from voters located in your respective districts. We are asking that you adhere to the rules that were previously provided to you. I would like to introduce Brandon Gilmore with You Gotta Feel Me Now podcast. Brandon.
Thank you, Ms. Dawn. And all candidates, welcome to Voters East of the Industrial Canal 2021 Municipal Candidate Forum, being brought to you by the Box Studios, which is located in New Orleans East, District E. At this time, I would like to introduce my co-host for this District E Forum, Ms. Kimberly Wright. You're on mute, Kim.
Good afternoon. I am Kimberly Burbank. I am here representing Voters East of the Industrial Canal. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. You all look beautiful, nice, and ready. Love the backgrounds. Tonight, we would like to basically begin with a trivia question. And so we just want to basically loosen everyone up, and don't get worried or anything. These probably are questions that you are going to know the answer, but we just want to loosen up a bit.
Okay, Lavon, I think we have to do the introductory questions first, the introduction first. The very first.
Okay. I'm Kimberly Burbank. If you all could please provide your full name as well as your profession and the number of years that you have served in that particular field. Please limit your answer to 1 minute. We're going to begin with Councilmember Cindy Nguyen.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Kimberly. How are you? And thank you, Brandon, for allowing us to be here. Again, my name is Cindy Nguyen. I've been serving as the City Council member for District E, where family always comes first, for 3.5 years.
Mr. Oliver Thomas.
My name is Oliver Thomas, candidate for City Council District E, number 72, born and raised in the Lower Ninth Ward. Currently live in Lake Willow, 7157 Thornley. And I want to thank Dawn, Kim, Brandon, Corinne, and everyone associated with this forum, especially dealing with what I think is one of the most important districts in the Gulf South. As I've said often in many of these debates and forum, and even on the radio show I host a Good Morning Show. I'm on leave from that. I work for a design and infrastructure and hazard mitigation firm for the last 7 years, Stewart Consulting. and of course, WBOK, the Good Morning Show. New Orleans East is not just a diamond in the rough. New Orleans East is a diamond that's been treated roughly. So looking forward, and also my congratulations to the other candidates, everyone who's running. And as I said often, I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for the citizens of this great district. Oliver Thomas, number 72.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Vanessa Geringer Johnson.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I am Vanessa Geringer Johnson. I am a lifelong resident of Lower 9. I'm retired. I retired from LSU Health Sciences Center following Hurricane Katrina. I am running for the New Orleans City Council seat because I love this community. I love this district. I have been involved in advocacy for 16 years, advocating and standing with the residents of this district to fight for recovery. There is an urgency that recovery happens. I feel that if we reach that 20-year mark, the book will be closed on recovery for our district. And I feel that the New Orleans East and Lower 9, as well as Venetian Isles and Lake Catherine, are worthy of better. We have to be about the business of knowing that we are not being treated fairly in the city of New Orleans. We have to know our work in all of this. So there is an urgency for me. There is a pride, a passion, a purpose for me to fight for this community and to make us whole once and for all.
Hi.
And Katrina.
Okay. Can we please hear from Ms. Michelle Copeland?
Good afternoon. Thank you for playing that form. Thank you, Brandon and Kim, for hosting, for being the moderators. I decided to run to be the council person for District E because I'm a lifelong resident of District E, born and raised, never left until the Hurricane Katrina portion and came back afterwards to raise my kids. I have a 21-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. I'm a mental health professional. I'm an educator. I've worked in the community for many years. I'm an educator for the last 13 years. I'm a mental health professional. I work with kids. When you work with kids, you work with the families. When you work with the families, you're working with the community. I love to cook. I feed the neighborhood. I don't know how to cook small. I just love people. I decided to run for this position because I'm tired, just like you all, seeing how our community look to the wayside. I will be a strong advocate for District E, and I just love, and I'm here and wanting to serve has been for the district.
Time, please.
Okay. Can we hear from is Mr. Aaron Miller on? Okay. Is Mr. John Bagneris on? Okay, I think that's everyone. Okay, so here's the first question. The first question is, with New Orleans East and District E having such diverse, well, we have Mr. Bagneris. Can you all hear us?
Yes.
Mr. Bagneris? Okay, so the first question is,
We have to go into
with
the-
New Orleans East and District.
Now we do the trivia.
Okay.
Brandon?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, and just to try to cool things off and everybody be comfortable, we're gonna ask a little trivia question. It's gonna flash across your screen. Let me know when you see it. Everybody see it? What is the current estimated population for District E? And we'll go in the same order that you were introduced, starting with Councilwoman Ms. Nguyen.
Yes, Brandon, I believe based on some of the data I've looked at, an estimate of over 80,000 residents.
Thank you. Next, please.
I think this city demographers have it somewhere in the 70s, but if you talk to people who live in this district, many will say that it's definitely about 80,000 or more. We don't think that the city's numbers or the census numbers have ever, especially in the last 10 years, adequately reflected the real population in District E.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Next.
I'm including actually Lower 9, Venetian Isles, and Lake Catherine. So I'm going to say around 90,000.
Thank you. Is Mr. Beck-Neris back on? Ms. Copeland, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I agree with my counterparts. It's right at 80,000, including Venetian Isles in the outer skirts, if you will.
Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Beck-Neris, if you're here, please say present. Okay, maybe we lost him. Thank you all for that answer. Kimberly?
Okay,
Okay.
not so bad, right?
Yeah.
Not so bad, not so bad. All right, very good. All right, you all. New Orleans East and District E, the residents, the diverse residents in that area, the extremely diverse business sector, one of the very large business sector, along with a very outgoing nonprofit community and a dedicated religious and faith-based organizations. How do you see yourself in the seat for Council District E? How do you see yourself being a better partner or continuing to partner with those 4 different groups? And how do you identify, or how would you describe your strengths and weaknesses? So with such a diverse group of residents, businesses, nonprofits, and faith-based organizations, how do you see yourself leveraging your strengths and your minimizing even maybe your weaknesses to be a good partner and leader for District E? I'll begin with Ms. Copeland.
Okay, so I just want to get it right. You said businesses, residents, faith-based, and educators, schools. Am I correct?
The community.
The community, right. Well, excuse me, in order to be the city council person for District E, we all have to come together. It's not an I, it's a we. So in order for District E to run properly and for it to come together as a village, as we used to be, we have to create a platform or a roundtable, if you will, that we all come together, we all put our ideas together, and I would be the spokesperson for District E to bring all of that to surface. It's time to rebirth District E. It's time for our economic development, our infrastructure, and just the business, the streets, the infrastructure of District E to come together. And in order to do that, we have to have all of those faith-based and businesses, the community, to come together to make that happen.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Oliver Thomas.
Kim, that's really a great question. And I think it's one of the places we've missed here. If we're going to deal with sustainability and not just trends, I'm talking about staying on top of changes from crime to business, to housing, to dealing with blight, you're going to have to involve every layer of the community. Of course, that has been one of my strengths. That's why a lot of the support I have throughout this region and throughout the city is because I was always known for bringing people together. It is extremely important, now, but I think transparency on the front end is critical. The things that come to my office at the city council, faith-based, nonprofit, business leader, and community folk need to be notified on the front end. My staff will immediately, anything that affects the community or neighborhoods in general, immediately, that those people who are involved in this community, they need to be notified when it's initiated, not after the fact. And then the other thing that I think has to happen is, look, I want partnerships. I don't want to be the czar, the political kingmaker, right? I want to make sure that I have partnerships with our legislators, our senators, our state reps, school board members, business leaders, nonprofits, organizations, so that we're all working together. I don't think New Orleans will ever get to the place, whether it's from crime to economic development to schools, if we don't have strong partnerships where everybody is serving. And what I hope to do, Kim, is change the social order here. I think the social order in Louisiana and New Orleans has been wrong. It's been politics, business, and people are last. Well, when you flip it to business, when you flip it to people, business, and politics as a supporting entity, I think you can sustain those types of efforts, especially when we have some success, and make sure that we keep it going where everybody's working together.
Okay. Can we hear from Ms. Vanessa Garinger Johnson?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be inclusive of everyone. That's first and foremost. For 16 years, I've been an advocate that's worked with the community, the diversity in the community, churches, youth groups, nonprofits, business leaders, police departments. All of these entities, all of these folks have to collectively come to the table. No voice, no idea is wrong. You know, we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses, and we have to build on that. There has to be partnerships so we can move this district forward. There has to be transparency, integrity, accountability. There has to be all of that. That has to happen in order for us to move our district forward. Like I said before, we are 16 years, coming up on 16 years behind the rest of the city. It is urgent that we come together because, like I've said so often, there is more that unites us than divides us. All of the areas of our district are suffering the same issues. And if we don't come together, we won't be able to move this district forward. So we have a real chance at recovering from Katrina and moving forward and leaving a legacy to the children in our community that says you are worthy. And as long as you are included, as long as your voice is heard, then we can move forward in this city.
Thank you. Mr. John Bagneris? Oh, we can't hear you. Yeah, try again, and I'm gonna move on to Councilmember Cindy Nguyen.
Thank you, Kim. Well, first of all, let me just share that when I got elected, when I campaigned 3.5 years ago, that was one of the key factors of making sure that we bring all communities together, nonprofit, faith-based, different ethnicity group, business community, and really empowering our people to take ownership and being that thoughtful partner with all of our groups in our community, bringing a sense of collaboration and, of course, transparency and accountability. So what I've done for the past 3.5 years is to make sure that those accessibilities were open to everybody. I have established, just last night, I hosted my 333 Facebook Live that I kicked off since I've been in office. We have monthly coffee and conversation where people can come to the table and share their thoughts and issues of concerns. In addition to that, we have set up a numerous way of really tackling and creating safe space for people to be engaged in and to know the work that is being done before it's actually gets done. And so from coffee and conversation to District E forums, to our community crime prevention workshop series, to Facebook Live, on-site visit that I do, making sure that I'm always accessible to the community in reference to issue, and then creating, again, space where there's an initiative that has been proposed to us, bringing community together. We started the Economic Land Use Committee. When a land use item comes to my desk, we make sure that we bring it to the community so the community are aware of it. And those are stuff that I will continue to do once reelected on October the 9th, because these are very critical stuff. And that's why one of the reasons why we have been able to get a lot of stuff done. There's still more work that needs to be done, but the foundation of bringing community together definitely has implemented under my leadership, along with so many partnerships that we have been able to engage with.
Thank you. Representative John Bignaris?
It's not just me, it's we in the community.
Mhm.
We have 30 homeowners associations that we have to work with, and we have to go into the business community and help them, especially entrepreneurs who are trying to get started out here in New Orleans East and the Lower Ninth Ward, and how to keep them going. In the past, council people and council at large, they didn't worry about New Orleans East. They worried about Uptown, St. Charles Magazine when they were in office. They didn't do nothing for New Orleans East. I can't remember any of them doing a thing. But we have to move on and work with everybody that's eligible to be in the community, work with them and get it done.
Thank you. Okay, next question, 60 seconds per person. The next question is, our community east of the Industrial Canal makes up about 48% of the city of New Orleans' land mass, believe it or not. It's pretty big. So the question is, can you rank what you consider to be the 3 most critical challenges for the New Orleans east of the Industrial Canal, half of the city? Let's start with, let's see, can we start with, let's start with Miss Vanessa Johnson.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. You said 3 challenges that we're facing.
Yeah.
Well, number one, we're facing the challenge of crime in our district. We have to holistically approach crime, and that is NOPD, residents, youth groups, nonprofits. We have to do that.
Okay.
We have to, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Sorry about that.
Can you hear me? Okay, so crime is an overarching thing that we have to reduce in order to attract business to our district. We have a lack of economic development in our district. We have infrastructure issues that have to be addressed, lighting, street repairs. All of those things are part of how we present ourselves to business investment and to a better quality of life for our residents. So we have to address those 3 things I feel that are major. And if we don't, then we stand not to be able to move forward and be the vibrant community I know we can be. And I know people know we can be.
Thank you. Representative John Bignaris, what do you see as our 3 critical challenges, and how can we face them? 60 seconds.
Everybody knows crime is number 1. It's all over the country. We have to do more economic development. I'm laser focused on economic development. We need more businesses in the East. We need better restaurants. New Orleans hamburger and seafood is good, but we need an Outback. We need a Zia's. We need somewhere where families can go and sit down and have a good meal. We don't have that. We don't have any department stores. You know, we have to go to Metairie or Slidell, and we paying to get their streets fixed, but our tax dollars, spending it over there. We don't have any stores where a lady can go buy after 5 outfit to go somewhere nice and look decent. And I think that's 3 of the things we need. We also need to stop all this parking of tractor trailers in the neighborhoods. The neighborhood is not for that. You need a truck stop for that. And we need to do something about the speeding on the interstate and on Sheffield Highway, where they are doing donut rolls at night, 2 in the morning, and making a lot of noise. But we got to clean up the East. It's not going to be viable till we clean it up and get everything out the ditches so the flooding can stop. I'm tired of it being a third world country. We need to do something better.
Thank you. Mr. Albert Thomas, 3 critical challenges facing everyone east of the Industrial Canal.
Well, if you can't be safe, you can't be anything. And thank you for another very important question. I've said it publicly already in debates and forums. I've said it in my interviews. I think the way we man the 7th district and public safety has to be changed. I think you can't use the same formula of population per councilmatic district that they use. I said, because of New Orleans East landmass, it has to be landmass times call for service times population times crime. And I think that formula has to be different if we're going to make sure that New Orleans East is safe. The other thing is the amount of available land to be developed. Where else do we have that level of property for folk to develop? Let's get business and developers interested in making sure that we develop that land, not just the Six Flags or Lincoln Beach sites, but those other thousands of acres that are available. And then Kim, third and mostly critical, we can talk about all that other stuff, but the early pioneers, whether it's business or homeowners, we got to make sure they stay. In studying demographers now that's looking at population growth, in 2019 was the last time we actually grew. So people started leaving before the pandemic. And I'll say a little more about that if I get a chance. But if you keep taking away from something, what do you wind up with? You wind up with nothing. So those are my 3 things.
Councilmember Cindy Nguyen, what do you see as our 3 critical challenges east of the Industrial Canal?
Yeah, so, one of the things when I came into office, and I think everybody recognized this, is that there was a huge lack of investment in District E. There was no attention given to District E. There was a movement to basically make District E green space. And because of that, there's so much work that needs to be done. And what we've started when we came into office was to basically look at some of the challenges that we face in reference to why people are not investing. And so we started looking at zoning, in areas in District E, from the east to the Lower 9, all the way to Venetian Out and Lake Catherine. We looked at addressing blighted property. We heard from our investor, you guys have, when I drive through on the I-10, I see major corridors that hasn't been put back into commerce since Katrina. So we immediately started working on that. The Caveman Hotel is no longer there. It is under renovation and will be completed by the end of this year. The Lake Forest Senior Manor that was sitting since Katrina, it is slated to be ready for seniors to move back in. The Six Flag and the Lincoln Beach is going to be a great opportunity for us to create job opportunities. We talk about crime. When crime happens, when people don't have opportunity, and we got to make sure that there's job opportunity available. District E definitely have the land mass to do that. Other major issues that I see are challenges for our areas: blighted property and overgrown lots. That impacts the quality of life. We have a lot of deadbeat property owners who used to live next door to us, who used to be our neighbor, but have decided to abandon their property and neglect their property. And then by not taking care of it, it creates nuisance and public safety in our neighborhood. We've been working really hard to address that since I've been in office. Our team have been able to demolish 242 properties that's been blighted. We push over 1,000 code enforcement hearings. In order to get these properties back into commerce, we have to push it through adjudicated hearing. So we work really closely with the code enforcement department, lot maintenance, to address many of these quality of life issues. Another challenge is that I feel, Kimberly, is the perception that people have of the East. People feel I hear it all the time, but I am a big supporter of District E. And I need all of the people in the community to continue to promote the positive. We have positive things in our district as well. We have things that we need to work on. We've been sitting for so long. Rome wasn't built overnight, but we've definitely been putting in the work to make sure that we move District E forward.
Thank you all.
Brandon, you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Kimberly, and thank you, candidates. We're gonna roll a 60-second video that we want to show you all of New Orleans East, past and present, currently. If y'all could take a look at y'all screen. And this is what New Orleans East used to be. This is what New Orleans East currently is. And the beautiful Joe Brown's football stadium, the New Orleans East Hospital, to the Lakefront Airport, to Lincoln Beach, to this. This is what we see on Morrison every day, every single day. Blighted since Katrina, 15, 16 years. That's unacceptable. Overgrown lots, houses just standing, nuisance, rodents, everything is running out. We see this every day, every single day. And this is currently what we're dealing with all over New Orleans East, from Dowman to Michoud. Streets are being repaired. They come for a month. You don't see them for 3 months. That's illegal dumping that we constantly see in Michoud off of I-10. That's Bullet Corridor on the service road. That's the service road between Reed and Crowder. That's Cindy Place. This is what we seeing. One thing we all can agree with on this call, we all love New Orleans East. And with that being said, blighted and vacant properties attract illegal dumping, criminal activities, and vagrant squatting, all which drove down property values. We need an aggressive leader who is not afraid of holding nuisance and neglectful property owners accountable. We'll give you 60 seconds and just to answer, what will you do innovatively, legislatively, and budgetarily to improve quality of life standards in New Orleans East and Lower 9 and bring us to its full economic and aesthetic potential? We'll start with Councilwoman Ms. Wynn, please.
Thank you, Brandon, for that. Again, we push over 1,000 code enforcement hearings in order to put these property owners, these deadbeat property owners accountable. You have to push them through the hearing process to find them, but ultimately you want to get them to rebuild and address the issue. In reference to illegal dumping, we will be placing illegal dumping cameras in areas that we know that people constantly illegal dump, because we know that our manpower with NOPD is not there. So we want to make sure that there's tools available to address illegal dumping. I get frustrated when people notify our office of illegal dumping, and there's no way of being able to crack down or take enforcement. And so last year, the New Orleans City Council, we approved funding to get illegal dumping camera placed in District E.
Get that camera question after she finished. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, no problem. And then in reference to street repair, this is something that we took up. We know that there was a lot of street that was broken up, and with COVID-19 and everything that many of the company were facing, but city contractors will be held accountable. And so the city is revising how we push out investment for our streets. We want the investment. Many of our streets need major investment, but we also want to make sure that these street repairs, as the city is breaking up streets, that they are in collaboration and working with residents that street repair would take place. And they got to make sure that they stay on schedule. And that's something that we continue to tackle to address that issue.
Thank you, Ms. Wynn. And before you others answer, let me just ask Ms. Wynn this. We are aware that cameras are being installed for illegal dumping. However, we also understand that there's no plan to have cameras monitored and no accountability for violators, as there is no defined process to have summons issued, fines levied, and collected or public hearings held.
So Brandon, what we're doing is that we partner with the sanitation department and the real-time crime camera. Every day, if a camera is labeled as illegal dumping, the RTCC will take a picture of that site, will send it to sanitation. They will monitor it every morning. If they see something that happened, then we will go back 24 hours because we don't have the manpower to really have somebody to sit there and watch it every single minute. But if we see some activity, we'll be able to use that footage and be able to take enforcement.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen.
No problem. Thanks for the question.
You're welcome. And I'm sorry, can we continue with Mr. Thomas answering, please? If you need us to repeat the question, we will. Just let us know.
Not at all. First of all, Brandon, man, look, very powerful, important question. We have a strong man, strong council form of government. The city charter is real specific in the powers vested in city council. Code enforcement, there are litter abatement laws that are attached to occupational licenses when a business gets its license. And guess what? The budget. Some of you all may remember in the past when we held up mayoral budgets until they added more inspectors, more collectors, and more code enforcement. I mean, you get together with your colleagues, man, and if these things that are charter responsibilities, Kim, that are essential, if they're not being met, well, guess what? The council is the fiscal agent for the city of New Orleans. You can deal with it there on the front end. And then, man, look, you guys have already done the homework. Dawn, Corinne, Brandon, and Kim. If you read the East NOLA Quality of Life Standards Report, you guys gave city leaders a tool to do 6 to 12 month assessments to see, Brandon, if these areas are actually being dealt with when they were reported or logged in. And as I have read the report that New Orleans East already did to give to the city, had we just followed those standards, we would have made some gains in those areas.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. We appreciate that. Ms. Vanessa, can you answer, please?
Okay, I'm going to address the infrastructure issues. What I have seen is that there is rarely a time when Sewage and Water Board and DPW works in tandem. That cannot happen. It cannot go on. So with that said, me taking office would be about the business of forming committees in the neighborhood and prioritizing those repairs and a checks and balances on a monthly basis as to what has been done. As far as the Blight process, it is absolutely broken. Okay, these judgments sometimes go around for 20 years. The city has in place, especially down here in Lower 9, a statute amendment legislation that they put in place in 2014 that allows developers to get properties for less than market rate value and get their code enforcement liens waived and tax liens as well. But the residents cannot get these properties. And they do that they can do it within a 3-year period. The residents have to go through trying to obtain the deed to those properties from those people who have walked away when the city of New Orleans already knows they have done their due diligence and they cannot locate those property owners. So a mechanism needs to be put in place.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa. Mr. Bagneris, we're going to come to you last. Ms. Michon, do you need us to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you said yes?
Yes.
Okay. I stated we are aware that cameras are being installed for illegal dumping. However, we also understand that there is no plan to have cameras monitored in New Orleans accountability for violators, as there is no defined process to have summons, issue fines, and collected of public hearings held.
Well, to tackle the Blight, like initially, just for now, as soon as I get into office, just this morning when I was out talking to constituents and my fellow neighbors, I always thought of residents coming together as a village like we used to and tackling the Blight, the high grass and cutting it down and everyone coming together and cleaning it up. Now, the areas where the buildings are coming down, crumbling, I know there are codes that we have to obey, but if we come together as a village, there's a guy who's doing it now who go around cutting the grass in Eastern New Orleans and the Lower 9. And if we come together, all of us together, we can make that look better. Now, as far as the cameras, I agree with the cameras because we're holding owners accountable for things that other people are doing. you can't hold owners accountable for the illegal dumping. So I am for the cameras. However, if we had technology, and we need technology that's accessible to us, the residents, so that we're able to monitor. Like our council person said, we don't have the manpower to have that done. Well, we, the residents, the community, we should be able to have that access on the website to be able to look at what's going on. As far as, I talked to another constituent this morning who was taking care of a property next door to her because she would always see snakes coming out. They're the prostitutes on St. Claude, and of the like other things going on. She took care of that property more than 3.
Thank you, Ms. Michon. And Mr. Bagnaris, just give us 1 second. Ms. Michon, I just want to apologize. We skipped you on the last question before this. So after Mr. Bagnaris answers this question, I'm gonna come back and ask you that question if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Bagnaris?
Yes, blighted property is real bad in New Orleans, and not just New Orleans easily and District E, but the dumping is a real problem. We can't keep it clean. We can't bring businesses in. I've noticed of 510 of the chef on that service road, the illegal dumping of tires. I tried to get, when I was state representative, I tried to get a license plate reader put over there because they dump there all the time. I had that place cleaned twice when I was in the legislature. They come look like every year and dump some more. But we have to come to a conclusion where some of this money in the budget, this fat we got in the budget, we got to pull it out. Like we paying for all these policemen and we don't have 1,600 policemen. That's money we can use to do things like get cameras or license plate readers or put some people in position to monitor that kind of stuff. My thing is, like I said, I'm laser focused on economic development, and without cleaning it up, we won't get any economic development.
Thank you, Mr. Bagnaris. Thank you all for your answers. And Ms. Michon, once again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you this question that you were skipped over, and I'll give you 60 seconds to answer. Can you list and rank the 3 most critical challenges of the segment of New Orleans East in the Industrial Canal?
So, of course, we all know crime is the #1 issue, but in order to fix crime, we have to deal with the infrastructure. Infrastructure is the center of everything. So in order to fix the infrastructure, we have to look at working with each other, coming to the round table once again, to address the problems that we're having. We need community policing. We need to focus on our mental health issues. The community policing would help our NOPD to free up, to address crime to address the crime and violence instead of the nonviolent issues. Once we have that and we have the community policing in place, our police will be able to do the officer friendly. Like when we were in school, we had officer friendly that came to school. So our kids and our youth would understand that the police are not negative people. They're not people that are angry. They're here to help us. And once we could build that relationship, we can kind of curb that crime. We won't eliminate the crime, but we can curb it.
Thank you, Ms. Michon.
Okay, thank you all again. This is Corinne. We're gonna try to save some time because we started a little late with some technical difficulties, and I apologize for that. So I'm gonna go back. You all said some good things and had some good points, but we need to know specifically, what will you do legislatively, budgetarily, and what is your action plan to make District E investment ready during your time in office, and what policies will you implement to attract, expand, and retain targeted businesses in New Orleans East? Now, we understand that there has been work that was done. We don't want to talk about what was done. We want to talk about what is the plan moving forward so we can move forward. And I'm going to go and I'm going to start with Mr. Bagnaris.
Welcome, and my plan, as I said, first clean it up, get things done, then bring in some developers look at this land that we have that's so cheap. We have cheap land here. This is the last frontier for New Orleans to expand. After I do that, I want to see that, like I said, entrepreneurship and small businesses, we have to bring them in. And to sustain those businesses, we have to patronize them to keep them here. And my goal, and like I've been telling y'all all the while, is to focus on economic development. And I didn't just come here 2 years ago. I've been in New Orleans East since 1969, and I noticed everything that's going on that happened after Katrina that's going on right now. We don't have a council that's working for us. We don't have, it's rubber stamping whatever the mayor wants. We have to have camaraderie with our colleagues on the council, and we have to work towards.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat the question again. We would like to know specifically your legislative plan and your budgetary plan and your plan of action for policies and how you will implement those to move District E forward. So, Ms. Copeland.
Okay, thank you for the question. Well, my plan for the budget is we need to look at the monies we have, the budget, and we need to review the budget. We have to revisit it, such as with the trash, we need to revisit the budget and we need to renegotiate. We have to see what's the priorities, and we need to re-itemize how we prioritize our budget to make sure that it's better for our district. As far as policies, one of my #1 issues are the high bills that we have with energy and sewage and water board. We're 32% higher than our neighboring parishes, such as St. Bernard and Jefferson Parish. So we need to revisit why and how, and we need to change how the structure of that is designed. Legislatively, I would like to partner with my fellow legislators to see how we can work together so it can be better for our constituents, us, the people. As far as the blight, as far as economic development, in order for things to work, we have to come together. Did she say time? We have to come together to make things work in the budget. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Thomas.
In a minute, what does the master plan and the CZO say, Corinne, in terms of encouraging or promoting investment? Does it apply in New Orleans East right now? But one of the first things I would do is identify the anchors: New Orleans East Hospital, NASA, those business districts and corridors that you could build around. How do you remap a zone them for 21st century opportunity or investment, Kim? I think that's the first thing you would do. When I was Legislator of the Year several years ago, that's one of the things that was cited, the Renaissance Plan. You know, how do you create corridors for tax credits? Much of what you see in other parts of the city were incentivized for growth. New Orleans East Hospital, my legislation, the Renaissance District for the Lower Garden District, the mapping or overlay from that happened on St. Charles, from Lee Circle to Jackson Avenue, enterprise zones, tax credits for employees. And then one of the last things that I would do, Brandon and Kim and Dawn, is let's get a realistic look at the amount of money that New Orleans East residents put into the system versus what they get back. And I would look to have viable state partners, Corinne, like you and the senator, to partner with us so that the state isn't passing on its opportunity either, but that they're partnering with us to leverage the investment of New Orleans East residents.
Thank you. Ms. Garringer, but Johnson, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's all right. Well, legislatively, I would pull all of the ordinances that are in place to see what's working, what's not working. And what's not working, either amend or introduce new that works for the residents. Budgetarily, we need to look at the CBDG monies and any other pots of money that are available to us to promote Black minority business in our district and to be able to retain it. I would go to the mayor ask her to appropriate the $100,000 demographic study to be done in New Orleans East so we can have a clear picture of the income, education, ethnicity, everything that we need to know, because the data that we are using now is from 2007, 2009. So when we go to court, big investment, we are going to them with out-of-date information. Also, there were times when I saw we did not show up at the Regional Planning Commission. As a result, a mall or shopping area that was slated for New Orleans East went across the lake. So we have to make sure we have representation at these meetings. We have to partner with our state reps as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilmember Nguyen.
Thank you for that question, Corinne. So what we're working on right now is stormwater management credits. So as we talk about bringing developments to the area, we got to talk about when they go to pull their permit, what are some of the obstacles that they face? And what we've learned for the past 3.5 years, that stormwater management has been a huge challenge, especially for the East and the Low Nine, when we have buildings that has been sitting with concrete pavement. And so we're looking at how do you change legislation to where they are still meeting the stormwater management for the city, but how do we still help them with their investment, because stormwater management can be very costly. This budget cycle, I will be approving to make sure that CPC has the proper staffing. Because of COVID-19, they lost a good number of staffing. We need to reopen the master plan to look at and reevaluate many of the zoning that could attract the developments. We see developments everywhere. There is a mixed use. Right now, based on my understanding, there's very limited mixed use. We started doing some in the Low Nine, but some of the bigger partial for the East doesn't allow a mixed use. So I want to fund CPC to do that work.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen. And we have one more question because time has gotten to us, and we're going to start with Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, what is your understanding of the role and function of the East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission, known as ENONAC?
I mean, one of the things that I highlighted earlier was the plan that they did when you talk about quality of life and quality of life standards. So they played a vital role, but every organization that is committed to the viability and sustainability, we can't sleep on that word sustainability. We've been good in moments. We've been good in terms of trends. We've been on a Zephyr and roller coaster ride, whether it's crime, economic development, but we've not had sustainability. So I mean, partners like ENONAC, partners like other organizations are going to be extremely critical when we talk about building a foundation of sustainability, from crime to blighted houses, to economic development, to growth. Anybody who's willing to participate, willing to collaborate will be vital in terms of how my office works and how we transcend some of the problems where we're number one in most critical areas right now, Brandon. How do we get to change that? And that organization, as well as the people with this organization, you and many others, you're all going to be extremely important to helping me get that done. I can't do anything by myself, but I can tell you this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Council Member Ms. Nguyen, please.
Thank you, Brandon. I see the East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory as well as other organizations as a partner that is very knowledgeable about the neighborhood that they represent, that has creative ideas and very committed. Many of these organizations, we have long-term people that have been volunteering their hours and as well as their skills and expertise, and very dedicated. I see them as a thoughtful partner, engaging at different dialogue to move our district forward. And so I value the partnership that we have. I value groups that are established to really help move the district forward. And again, I can't do this work by myself. I've been at this seat for 3.5 years and have always had a sense of collaboration and working together with everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen. Ms. Vanessa?
ENONAC is a viable and forceful organization in New Orleans East. And without them and organizations like yourself, we would not be able to do the work of the district. The ENONAC has the ear of several HOAs in neighborhoods in New Orleans East. So it is vitally important that we work shoulder to shoulder with these organizations to move our district forward. We have a lot of issues. We have blight, we have infrastructure issues, we have crime issues. We need these partnerships in order to make it possible for us to be able to move forward and recover. We have to. There is no other way. We can legislate, we can advocate, we can do all of these things, but we need those partnerships with those neighborhood groups that have been doing the work for so long. We cannot think that we can do it alone, because we can't.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa. Ms. Copeland, please.
So ENONAC is an arm for community neighborhood organizations who are willing to become under ENONAC. And the neighborhood associations is a vital arm in general for everyone to come together so we can have a handle on each of our neighborhoods. And we can have like neighborhood captains when we were younger. We could have the neighborhood captain for each neighborhood that would be able to be an arm and be able to handle what's going on in our neighborhood. When we have one person that's able to be a spokesperson for all, well, for their current neighborhood, if you understand what I'm saying, it would make us better to come together as a village. I keep saying we're missing the village. We have to come together so we all can work together to make things happen. And ENONAC is that for the neighborhood associations.
Thank you, Ms. Copeland. And our last, Mr. Bagnaris.
Yes. ENONAC was very central in my legislative session. We worked together. As I told you in the beginning, there are 30 homeowners associations connected to ENONAC. They all have their ear to the ground. They know what the community needs. And we need to work along with you guys to get things done here. It's not rocket science. We all just need to come together and talk and hear what each other's problems are and bring it to the table. My office will do that. My office has done that in the past. So when we look at Lincoln Beach and Jazzland and other parts of the district that need revitalization, like the old Lowe's place, I did a 10-year tax break for businesses starting up in a poverty-stricken areas such as ours, the Lower Nine and New Orleans East, all the way to Lake Catherine. I've been here, I've done that. I don't want to see New Orleans East just fade away. I want to bring it up. I want to bring it out.
Thank you, Mr. Bagnaris. And so from everybody response, and we can start back with Ms. Wynn. Everybody is aware and understand the role and function of ENOC, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Ms. Vanessa, Mr. Thomas?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, I used and read their study in many of the quality of life issues for many of my responses. Yes.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And before I close, turn it over to Ms. Dawn, I just personally want to tell you all thank you. And to whoever is elected in the coming election, please understand, we all care about New Orleans East. Everybody on this panel, everybody that's looking. And as a citizen and a District E resident for the last 20 years, we just want a return of our investment. That's what we look for. We tired of the blight, we tired of the crime. We have grandmothers who are scared to come outside. We have other people who are scared to go to the grocery store because they're gonna be mugged or their car is gonna be stolen or it's gonna be broken. We tired of the trash not being picked up, what we pay for. We're just tired of being the red-headed stepchild of New Orleans. So whoever is elected, we're asking you, please, don't forget about the East. Get in the mayor here, bring the mayor out here, let her see what we go through in New Orleans East. Because New Orleans East and Lower 9 is a great portion of this property tax that goes to the city of New Orleans. That's all I have to say. Thank you. This is from the Box Studios with Voters East Industrial Canal. I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Dawn.
Okay, as Brandon said, we want to thank you all for participating tonight. We really appreciate it because you know you're very busy in this election season. But we want to remind everybody that early voting starts on September 25th and it ends on October 2nd. And the actual election date is October 8th. I'm sorry, October 9th, which is a Saturday. So everyone, we need you to vote. We need you to be involved. So we want you to stay tuned. These are our upcoming forums that we will be holding, and we hope to see you there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck. God bless.
Thank you, thank you.
And I vow to be that person. Have a prosperous evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Ooh, ooh.
All right, y'all, we're still live and we're still recording. I'm gonna start omitting, we're doing good. We had to make up some time, but we're doing good. We at 7:41. And we're gonna go ahead and do, they test to make sure that they're working, and then we're gonna start the forum. So those who are viewing YouTube, just be patient with us. There's a little delay from the Zoom to YouTube. So just be patient. Thank you. Mr. Glover, let's test your audio and visual, your audio and your video.
Hey, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room. Thank
Cool.
you. Mhm. See, where is, hello, Timberland. We're gonna test your audio and your video. Can you turn your camera and your mic on for us?
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you and can see you. We're gonna go ahead and put you back in the waiting room till we test everyone else, and then we're gonna bring you back full, okay?
Sounds great.
Okay. Hello, Morgan. Let's test your audio and your camera, please, for us. Can you go on camera and audio? I just see that you have a camera, but no audio. Morgan? Clevenger? Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room and we'll come back to you. And till we get it up. Mr. Laws, please test your audio and your video. If you can hear us, you can turn your mic on and your camera on, please. All right, we see you. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hello.
Testing, good. And we're gonna go ahead and put you back into the waiting room, and we're gonna bring you back in when the forum starts. Just keep your camera and audio and go back on mute. But we're gonna admit you after we test everyone else. Thank you. Mariah, can you please turn your camera and your audio on so we can test your audio and your video? Okay, we see you. Can you say something?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, everyone.
Okay, we're gonna put you in the waiting room till we test everyone else. Okay, thank you. Okay, why is he still here? Okay. Mr. Green, can you turn your camera on and your audio so we can test you? Video and audio. Can you turn your camera and mic on, please? Okay, camera. There we go. See, can you say something so we can hear you?
Dean Green here.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back in a waiting room till we test. We have two more people to test, and then we'll start the forum.
Okay.
Chantrice Burnett, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Can you, okay, there you are. Can you speak so we can test
Yes.
you? Okay. Hi, we're gonna put you back in the waiting room till we test everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Hello, Anthony. Anthony, hello, can you turn your camera and your mic on, please? Anthony? And okay, I see you. Let's connect to audio. Let's see if we can hear you. Okay, can you speak?
I can speak.
Okay, good. Thank you. Gonna put you back in the waiting room till we test the last candidate.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, there you are, Morgan. Can you go on mute for a second so we can test you real good? And then we're gonna start the forum. Oh, where you at? Where did you go? Oh, no, unmute for me. Yeah, unmute for me, Morgan. There you go. All right, can you say hello? Testing, testing.
Good evening.
Okay, great. We got you.
Okay.
I'll put you back in a waiting room and then we're gonna bring y'all all back at one time, okay? Just wanted to make sure your audio.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Thank.
All right, y'all. Real quick, moderators, y'all can come on camera now. Timekeeper is here. Please make sure that y'all say how much time that they have.
Today.
Yeah, say the time.
Corinne, is everybody here that was on the list? Because I was
No.
trying to check them off as you went.
No, everybody's not here.
Okay.
So yeah.
And how you say Alexa's last name?
Farrellet.
Farrellet. All right. I ain't want to mess it up. All right. I'm sorry.
Thank you for asking. Okay. I didn't see Kevin Clark, right?
No.
All right. Oh, was Courtney here? I thought I saw her.
No, no Courtney.
Okay. So Eugene. What about Robert Murray?
No.
Okay. Dulane Troy Vining?
No.
Keith KP Parker?
No.
And Chantrice Burnett?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Got her. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. You ready? Y'all ready?
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Action. I'm gonna admit them and I'm going on mute.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Dawn Abear, and I'm the chairman of Voters East of the Industrial Canal. We want everyone to know this is an open forum, and we welcome everyone to this District D candidate forum. A group of concerned voters who believe that their voices were not heard, their issues and concerns and questions were not being addressed in many of the PAC hosted forums and debates, resulting in the establishment of Voters East of the Industrial Canal in 2011 by voters for voters, providing an open forum where our candidates can holistically engage voters who are the true decision makers on election day. All candidates were invited to participate. Tonight's questions were solicited and submitted by voters located in your respective districts. We are asking that you adhere to the rules that previously were provided to you. I want to introduce Brandon Gilmore, who is with You Going to Feel Me Now podcast. Brandon, yours.
Thank you, Ms. Dawn. And thank you all candidates. And I want to welcome you to Voters East of the Industrial Canal 2021 Municipal Candidate Forum, which is being brought to you by the Box Studios located in New Orleans East. At this time, I would like to introduce my co-host for the District D Forum, Ms. Alexis Parent-Farrellet. Ms. Alexis.
Thank you, Brandon. Hi, everyone. Just a little bit of background about myself. I'm currently a resident of District E. Grew up here, but as an adult, I did live in District D for 10 years, so I'm very familiar. We're going to start in alphabetical order, then alternate. And first, you have 30 seconds to provide us with your name. So introduce yourself like as you want to for 30 seconds. We'll start with Chantrice Burnett.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. I am Chantrice Burnett, born and raised native here of New Orleans, Louisiana, proud graduate of McDonald 35 and Southern University, while I hold a master's degree in public administration, concentrating in public policy. I believe the residents of District D deserve leadership that matches our investment and care for the residents and is willing to listen and serve for you. And that is exactly why I'm running for this seat, to represent your interests and do what's best for you. Thank you again to the voters of the East of the Industrial Canal for having this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burnett. Morgan Clevenger.
Good evening. I'm Morgan Clevenger. I'm a New Orleans born and raised in the 6th and 7th Ward. I currently live in the 7th Ward. I've been a community activist and president of our neighborhood association for many years. I'm also a cultural advocate who's moved big initiatives and worked hard for our musicians and culture bearers. You know, I'm running for District D because we need to do better. We've had a lack of attention, and we have so many issues in the community across the district, and many of them we actually share with District E. So I look forward to working together with the new council member for District E, and so we can move the needle forward for all of our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Anthony Doby.
Yes, good evening. Guys, my name is Anthony Doby. I'm running for the District D City Council position. I grew up in Metairie, moved out to the city in 2005. I've lived in District D for the last 10 years. I'm a real estate investor, so it pains me to see that the commercial areas off of Elysian Fields and Franklin and Dowman Road have sat empty for so long, even after we changed to CZO, the zoning plan years ago, to try to spur development. We've seen nothing but stagnation, and it's dragging down our neighborhoods. We need to change infrastructure. There's so many things that we need to get to. I'm looking for your vote to help take us there. Thank you.
Thank you. Troy Glover.
Yep, thank y'all for hosting this forum and giving us this space. So my name is Troy Glover. I am a New Orleans native, graduated from the best high school in the city, McDonald 35, and have my bachelor's degree from UNO in political science. I am the father to my 11-year-old daughter, Tralil, who starts 6th grade tomorrow, and my 2-year-old son, Dukes. I'm running for city council for District D because I don't think you've ever had anyone that have my combined lived experience and my professional experience as the executive director of an organization that serves returning citizens that have ever run for office. So I'm excited to lead the district and partner with the folks in the East. Thank you.
Thank you. Eugene Green, you have 30 seconds.
Good evening. My name is Eugene Green, and I'm pleased to be a candidate for the District D seat, New Orleans City Council. I and my wife have for the past 32 years resided on St. Roch Avenue and Gentilly Terrace, where we've raised our 3 children. I've also been raised in the Pontchartrain Park community and in also the Sugar Hill area, Lafreniere Street. I'm motivated to bring positive change to our district. There's much to be done. There's areas of public safety that we need to work on. I also want to work with members of the city council to address concerns such as utility costs and the like. Being a city council member gives me an opportunity to do so, and thank you for hosting this forum.
Thank you. Mark Laws.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all. My name is Mark Jahari Laws. I'm seeking your support and your vote for New Orleans City Council District D. I'm a husband, a father, a proud father of 4 children in law enforcement and 1 school teacher. I know the district. I've been living in the district my life. I'm concerned about the way we're headed in this district, and I think I can make a change. I have the experience. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I'm a businessman in the district. I employ people. And it's the way it is right now, we can't continue on this path. New Orleans will be null and void in a few years if we continue in the route that we're going in, as well as in District D. And I'm asking you for your vote and your support. I humbly ask for your vote and your support. And thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all tonight.
Thank you. Mariah Moore.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mariah Moore. I'm running for New Orleans City Council District D. I'm a fierce organizer, award-winning social justice advocate. I'm a renter in Edgewood Park. I'm the executive director of House of Tulip, which is a housing nonprofit here in the city. I'm a fierce fundraiser, grant writer, all of which is what we need on the New Orleans City Council to identify these funding streams and really start to bring some real dollars here in this city to put them exactly where we need: infrastructure, our kids, and especially their future. So thank you so much for having us tonight. I cannot wait to hear what questions you have for us.
Thank you. Timberland Sams.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Timberland Sams, and I am a native New Orleanian, educated in New Orleans public schools. I am a resident in the Milneburg neighborhood, which is located in the Gentilly area. I have over 15 years of working in this district, in this city. My fingerprints are all over the city of New Orleans and its neighborhoods. I'm a facilitator, a connector, a convener, and most of all, I am a concerned citizen about the direction that we are going. I've seen over 20 plans made for this city over the last 15 years, and not one of them have been enforced. And so I am wanting to ensure that the energies and the investment that residents put in place 15 years ago, post-Katrina, when we convened in different spaces and said that this is how we want our neighborhoods to live, thrive, and survive, actually be enforced. And I know that that's the role of the city council. Thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to talking to you all this evening.
Okay, thank you all. Mr. Gilmore, are we ready for our first question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question, and I'll give everybody 60 seconds to answer. Why did you decide to seek city council seat for District D? Tell us what you believe your strengths, your weaknesses, and skill sets are, and how they qualify you to effectively represent District D. I'm representing managing city business. And we're going to start from the end of the alphabet. So we'll start with Timberland Sams.
Okay. So the question was, why did I seek this office? So I returned back to New Orleans post-Katrina, like most people, with a vow that I was going to come back to the city and do something differently from what I've done before. And so in doing that, I came back to the city. I enrolled my son in the newly formed charter schools. At the time, he was 7 years old. I bought a home, whereas pre-Katrina, I was a renter, and I wanted to invest my dollars into a city. And I was working as a lobbyist for a national organization, and I actually applied to be an AmeriCorps worker for Neighborhoods Partnership Network, was a newly formed nonprofit. During that time period, the city had an energy that was going on because people wanted to come home. They wanted several plans, one of which was the master plan with the force of law. This plan was to give residents a voice. A lot of neighborhood organizations began to form and shape that did not exist prior to that time. During that time period, as the executive director, I formed several different programs to help build the capacity of neighborhoods to do that work. And I want to continue to do it. That's the skill set that I bring, is that I know how to
Thank you, Ms. Sams. We have to move on. Sorry, we have short time tonight. Next, we'll hear from Mariah Moore. Remember, you have 60 seconds.
Yeah, so I chose to run for City Council District D because I am the marginalized New Orleanian that we speak about, right? When we talk about our folks who need affordable housing, I am a renter. I know what it's like not to be able to find housing, quality housing. When we talk about our residents, especially our residents east of the Industrial Canal who rely heavily on public transportation, I know what it's like not to be able to afford that transportation, and also that my safety be compromised while waiting on public transportation. You know, a lot of the things that we're talking about, my strengths, I know how to engage policy on a federal level, as I've done so in my national organizing job. I know how to write grants, and people often forget that grant writing is essential to bringing in federal funds because we often have to compete for some of these dollars that we're receiving. So those are my strengths in 60 seconds. My weakness is that I am far too generous with myself than I should be, meaning that my constituent services would be extraordinary. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mark Laws, do you need me to repeat the question? If you do,
Yes, ma'am. Would you?
Okay. Why did you decide to seek the city council seat for District D? Tell us what you believe your strengths, weaknesses, and skill sets are, and how that will help you to effectively represent your district.
My screen went blank. Well, I'll talk to a blank screen, but I decided to run.
We can see you. I can see you. Go ahead.
I decided to run for District D because I'm fed up with the setup. I never left. I was here doing Katrina, and right after Katrina, I opened up a business. But the blight and the infrastructure and the crime is taking over. We have a serious problem in New Orleans East. My portion, Diamond Road, is a wasteland. It's blight. And it has a lot of work to do over there. So I have business owners that are struggling every day to operate businesses, and every day I get a phone call from different people. So my main objective is just to do business and clean up the area. My weakness is that I'm too kind-hearted, and I don't have many weaknesses. That's one of them. But my strong points are I'm here to work. I haven't stopped working since I started right after Katrina once again. And I'm doing this so much right now, it's become a habit.
Time. Thank you. Mr. Green, if you need me to repeat the question, I can.
No, I'm motivated to run for this particular office, and I chose to run for it because of the awesome responsibilities that members of the council have to make positive change in our city, whether it be in the budgetary process, the investigative process, calling together citizens using the resources that are available to help them to enhance our community. I'm motivated because I go through certain parts of our area, of our community, and I know that we have streets that are impassable still, and we have too high a level of crime, and I want to use my experience and expertise to help out in certain areas. My strength is my experience. I've served on a federal, state, and local level. My weakness is sometimes I take on too many things and serve too many things all at once. But some of those things that I do right now will be giving up as a full-time council member because it's so important. And again, the responsibilities of a council member are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Glover?
I decided to run because I love this city. I love the people in the city, and I love this district. And when I was at 25, the youngest president of the St. Roch Neighborhood Association ever, from investing in people, people say, Troy, we need you to run. As the executive director of my nonprofit organization, where I exclusively hire returning citizens, manage a $5 million budget, and bring in folks from a low barrier homeless shelter. That's the work of a city council person. It's putting people first, ensuring needs are met, speaking up for community, and passing legislation that matters. My weakness is that this district sometimes isn't ready for somebody who looks like me, whether that's because of my pigment or because of my locks, but we'll continue to fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anthony Doby. Remember, you have 60 seconds. If you need me to read the question again, I can.
No, it's okay. Well, I'm running just because, like most of you, I'm tired. I'm tired of griping about the same paid off politicians that election cycle after election cycle come on TV telling us how great they are and all the great things that they've done for us. When with my own eyes, I can see year after year that we're forced to accept failures and the continuing problems that we have with our infrastructure, social services, and crime. And we keep putting them back into office election cycle after election cycle. So I'm running to be the change that I wish to see in our local government and put it back to working for people like myself. My strengths and weaknesses, my 18 years in real estate, I have been managing teams of various types, whether it's contractors, construction crews, bankers, lawyers, title companies, tax sale negotiations. I manage quite a plethora of things in my career. Weaknesses are what I don't know. And when I don't know something, I ask a ton of questions until I can feel like I do know enough to make the right choice. And that's what I would do for the District D residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Morgan Clevenger. Remember, you have 60 seconds, and I can read the question again if you'd like me to.
Yes, could you do that, please? Thank you.
Sure. Why did you decide to seek the city council seat for District D? And tell us what you believe your strengths, your weaknesses, and your skill sets are, and how they will help you effectively represent your district.
Thank you so much. You know, my father's favorite words were Dr. Martin Luther King. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Those are the words I've lived my life by. And I've been working in community for over 40 years, most of my life. And what we fail to do in this city is listen to the people. Politicians say they listen, but they really don't. A good example of that is what's going on in District E right now with the coming development. But over 40 years of cultural advocacy, civic engagement, and as president of Fairgrounds Triangle Neighborhood Association, my strengths are listening to the people, researching the issues, finding strategies, bringing people together, and finding the solutions. And we've moved the needle on some really big issues that not only affected District D, but across the city. We were able to band together and fight a corner store that had taken over our neighborhood for decades. And the city, no one at City Hall would listen to us, neither NOPD nor NORD. And we realized it was a massive gentrification effort.
Ms. Clevenger,
But
that's
we
time.
want to listen to the people.
You have to move on. Thank you. Chantrice Burnett. You have 60 seconds, and if you need me to repeat the question, I certainly can.
Thank you. I have it. So I chose to run for this office, unlike most of my persons here, pretty much my entire life. Since I was about 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be in public service, which is why I chose the path of political science in undergraduate school, pursued my master's degree in public policy, concentrating in nonprofits, grant writing, and like I said, public policy, because I've always wanted to represent the interests of our people, because most of my entire life, I was able to recognize we weren't getting what we fairly deserve. So I am running for this position to represent the interests of our people, to bring us economic security, opportunities, community stimulus, and crime prevention measures that will make us all safe. That is why I'm running for this seat, and that's why I hope to have your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Brandon?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Alexis. And just to ease everybody's nerves, we're gonna run a short video. If everybody could look at their screen. It's about 50 seconds. Let me know when you all can see it.
No, we doing a trivia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna ask a question. We're gonna pose a question and it's gonna come on the screen. Let us know when you see it. And we'll start in the same order and let everybody answer.
Trivia.
Can everyone see the question?
Yes.
True.
True.
Okay, we're gonna ask for answers, give you a couple, maybe 5 seconds to answer the question. We'll start with Ms. Burnett Chantries.
True. It's just true or false, right? That's all you want from us?
Correct.
Okay, true.
Okay. Morgan Clevenger.
True.
Okay. Anthony Dovey.
It's very true, and some of the areas that need the most attention in our district.
Thank you. Troy Glover.
I'm gonna say true and reserve the right to change my answer if it's
Okay. Eugene Green.
And I guess I also have a qualifier. I kind of would like to look at it again because I don't think that the Fallbird Brewery is officially
That's what I was
located
questioning.
in District D. So I just want to say the answer to that, if I were to answer it truthfully, would be that that is false because of Fallbird Brewery. I don't know if that's a trick question or the like, but I do know that that one is located off Almanaster in District E. But there are a number of drivers in District D in terms of our economy. I will say that for a fact.
Gotcha. Okay. Mark Laws.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with Eugene Green. That is a trick question. I don't recognize Fallbird Brewery in that section, but otherwise it would be true.
Gotcha. Mariah Moore.
Lord have mercy. I want to say false too, but I mean, it's so tricky. Yes, false.
Okay. Timlin.
False. It's false. It's totally
It's false.
false.
Okay. Mr. Brandon.
Yes, ma'am. And
The answer is?
Y'all want to see the answer?
Yes, we do.
anytime now. The computer moving slow, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Kudos to those that caught that.
We just had to get y'all loosen up a little bit.
Right. We just want to see who was awake, you know? All right. Okay, so we're gonna move to our next question. Was that it, Brandon, or you had something else?
No, ma'am, that was it.
Okay, all right. So just following up on that trivia question, you'll have 60 seconds to please describe the boundaries of the New Orleans East portion of District D and tell us what you plan on doing to earn the support of the District D voters residing east of the Industrial Canal. So in that portion. And we're gonna start from the bottom again, back to Ms. Sams.
So, and I want to make sure I have your question correctly. You asked a two-part question.
I did. Mm-hmm.
And the first part is, what are the boundaries of District D
that are like part of that has a part of New Orleans and New Orleans East in it. Right, correct.
So I can sum that up into the Pines Village neighborhood for the most part is the New Orleans East part of District D. Within that are subdivisions like Rosedale and Malia and Pines and Orchard, Plum Orchard. Those are the neighborhoods that within the New Orleans East defined boundaries of District D. Part two of that question was?
Part two was, so pretty much, do you have a plan for that area of New Orleans East, for that area of District, the area of District D that New Orleans East occupies?
So I do. I actually want to continue the work that was done by Representative and then Senator Wesley Bishop. There was a great effort that was put in to actually revitalize the Dowman corridor. I often say Dowman now looks like what Magazine and Chapatulas and Ferret and all those other streets looked like when I was growing up. So there is an opportunity in actually bringing back, revitalizing that area. It is a main thoroughfare that is connected to our airport. I understand that we have an airport outside of New Orleans, but I do see a revitalization opportunity with that time. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Sam. Sorry about that. Okay.
No problem.
Ms. Mariah Moore, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so parts of our district that overlap with District E that I guess fall within that boundary. Everything that sits at the very edge of near the Desire area, parts of CTC, a little bit of downed France, that area is also considered, overlap. I think the way we've seen a lot of voters feel left behind, forgotten, not engaged with. So first, I would engage with all of those voters that also have issue areas similar to District E and figure out what it is that they want to see for their community, right? I know that economic development is huge there, but we want to make sure that we're doing it in a way that's equitable to their living situation, making sure we're not causing commercial chaos, making sure that when they go home, they still feel like they're at home and not living in a shopping center. Everyone wants to develop these neighborhoods, but they don't want to listen to the people who live in the neighborhoods. So that's, how I would engage with the voters there, is by truly putting them first and seeing what their needs are and fulfilling their needs.
Thank you. Mark Laws. If you need me to repeat the question, I can. You have 60 seconds.
Would you repeat it, please?
Sure. So can you please describe the boundaries of New Orleans, of the New Orleans East portion of District D? And the boundaries, yes. And what are your plans for that portion of for the New Orleans East portion of District D? I'm sorry.
Okay, I believe it's Industrial Canal, down Haynes to Lake Pontchartrain, it snakes to Lamb Road, to the Pine Village, Chef, and back to Dowman. And I would also, what my plans would be, to make Dowman Road and Chefman Tour like Veterans, with bustling businesses, other than just tire shops and liquor stores. I would like to see it look just like Veterans in those two streets, those two areas.
Gotcha, thank you. Eugene Green?
Yes.
Same question, 60 seconds?
Yes, Mark is correct in terms of the boundaries, but I mean, no need to repeat them, but I mean, from the Industrial Canal, the Lamb Road to along Hain Boulevard, Chef Highway, where it meets the Bauman Road again. But the most important thing is that that area is potentially subject to a lot of economic activity. When I was the head of economic development, we created neighborhood commercial revitalization districts along areas where we wanted to see expanded development take place. And I proposed that for the Chef Highway area from the interstate to Downman and Downman Road down to Hain Boulevard. That means the city subsidizes low interest loans, lower than the market rate loans for those who want to invest in their businesses along those corridors. And I'd like to spend more time addressing blight in that community, especially in the Skyview areas and areas such as Pine Village, where there are too many blighted homes still.
Thank you. Troy Glover.
Yep, so the industrial canal, Pine Village, down Diamond, Morrison, and Chef. I think that area has been one that's been neglected. And I think it's a great opportunity to invest in small businesses. And across that area and in many areas of District D, it's been a hub for Black-owned businesses that's been neglected. And I think it's a great opportunity to invest dollars in those businesses and then to continue to build affordable housing units within that space. Like many areas within District D, there's a housing crisis and there's a crisis around crime and economic opportunity. And I think it's a great opportunity to use that as a hub to show what the district can be.
Thank you. Remember, you have 60 seconds, and if you need me to read the question again, I will be happy to do so.
Is it my turn? I was just waiting.
Yes.
I didn't hear you. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
All right. Describe New Orleans East. Basically, yes. Chef and Shore, Haynes, Pine Village, Downman Road. The main thoroughfare that I feel like in District D for us is Downman Road. And I travel down Downman Road often in my work, and I don't enjoy it because when you get down to Morrison, when you go back to the little industrial area back there, it turns into a wasteland as far as trying to get over the roads. It's empty, undeveloped, and we changed our zoning plan years ago. But why didn't when we changed it then? Why aren't things happening now? Here we are again saying, well, we have to go make some more changes. We have to make incentives. We have to do this. We have to do that. It seems like the things that we've already done aren't working, and we need to kind of relook at what we can do to spur development in those areas because the land is owned by somebody. They're just sitting on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Morgan Clevenger, same question, 60 seconds.
Hi. Yes, the boundaries of that area are just as everybody has says, but also the precincts are 9 ward precincts, and that's important. And we're also running all the way to the lake. And we have numerous opportunities, especially with the new development that's coming into District E, to work together. But Downman Road is particularly interesting, but I think we all have to remember there are plenty of opportunities. There's district overlays, economic overlays that you can put in place. There's tax increment financing, there's pilot programs. But the bottom line is the people who already live there must have participation on the front end. Because what we don't want to have happen is to displace the current residents. We need to make it better for them, and they need to be at the table on the front end telling us what they want, and they need to have those opportunities for small business or neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Chantrice Burnett.
Yes, thank you. So we do know that the boundaries are from the east of the Industrial Canal, down Hain, down Downman, as well as Lamb and France would be the last 2 streets of the district. What I would do to develop that district first would be to go into the the neighborhoods and engage those persons first. Because what I know is from the last mayor election, in some of those areas, such as Pines Village, I'm sorry, Skyview area, there was only 3 voters on record. So I would first go in and engage those families, those people, and get them back into the process, clean up some of the blight that is discouraging them and making them feel as if the previous council have left them behind. And then also build businesses, encourage businesses with incentives that's paying living wages down that Dowman corridor, as well as add a parking ride for people to be able to commute from the East area down into the downtown New Orleans area, making it convenient for families and businesses. So collectively, all of that would help build up the Dowman corridor down to Haynes, hopefully bringing back business and family homes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Brandon.
Thank you, Ms. Alexis. And now we're gonna roll a video. So just let me know when everybody sees it. Dowman Road used to be a place where veterans came home from the army and they would live, and prominent stores, not big box stores, but local businesses. And now it's like a third world country. Blight, trash, towing up street. There's a hole right at Dowman and the Wire that if you hit it hard enough, your car will go to the shop. And just abandoned businesses all up and down Dowman, from, you can honestly say, from the underpass on Chef and Dowman all the way to the to Haynes. And the underpass has also become a corridor for trash being thrown as if it's an illegal dump. Everybody seen the video?
Yes.
Thank you. And we'll turn it back over to Ms. Alexis.
Okay, so some of you kind of, I just want you to elaborate a little bit more, because some of you did talk about what you wanted to do with Dowman Road. But since you've seen the video, and that kind of gave us a little visual, what is your action plan for the Dowman Road corridor to improve the quality of life for District D residents, as well as an environment that is attractive for visitors who fly in and out of the Lakefront Airport? And we're going to start at the top with Ms. Burnett.
Okay, so my first action plan would be to widen the sidewalks, making it easy and accessible for pedestrians who live in that area to transport back and forth down Dowman Road. Bringing back our small shops and small businesses, encouraging those opportunities for persons, as well as, again, dining and some entertainment. I see Dowman Road being a future Ferret Street and the future Magazine Street. It can be a place that holds small shops, businesses, coffees, and dinings during the daytime, and kind of have an adult entertainment at nighttime, because we know that that is already there. We can also increase, we can do overlay in that area to make sure that the zoning is specific for businesses as well as residential, making sure that those homeowners and property owners are safe in that economic development process. So that is what I would do. Those would be my action steps, keeping the residents informed and the entire step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Mr. Glover?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that video. And I just want to say, like, my organization currently cuts down blighted lots around that area, and we've hired folks that stay directly in that neighborhood. I disagree with some of my counterparts that say they want that area to be like Veterans or like Ferret. I don't think the area is meant to be like Veterans or Ferret. I think that area is meant to be invested in, and invested in by the neighbors that actually occupy that space. And that just involves more resources and putting resources directly into the hands of the small Black business owners that occupy that space. And then, as I said, I think it's a great hub for affordable housing and expanding transportation. Too often, folks from the East that live in the East or in that area don't have access to the city and city jobs. So building more transit, making sure people can get from that area back to the middle of the city without hassle and supporting people in that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Timlin Sams. You have 60 seconds, and I can read the question again if you would like me to.
I would like for you to read that question again.
Okay. So based on the video that we just saw, what is your action plan for the Dowman Road corridor to improve the quality of life for District D residents, as well as making it an environment that is attractive for visitors who fly in and out of Lakefront Airport?
So the beautiful thing about what's going on right now is that it's already placed. We have anchors such as the Lakefront Airport, but just recently UNO, which is a part of District D, started a technology innovation center called the Beach. We also have SUNO that has its small business incubator. One of the things that we were fighting for and have been fighting for the last 5 years is that below Canal Street, there were very few innovation centers, like what we saw above Canal Street, such as Propeller and all those other groups. Here's an opportunity that we can start building the capacity of those cottage businesses that exist in the Pines Village on the Dowman Road corridor. In addition, what I learned recently is there is a Pines Village cultural district. So it is already has a zoning overlay to actually enhance and build out those opportunities for assets. So I see there is an opportunity to develop a full range of financial inclusion programs with innovative activities from the cottage businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sam. Eugene Green?
Things that the video showed was the amount of blight along Dowman Road. You don't have to have so much blight in a commercial corridor that may be not generating the sort of traffic that you want. One of the things that we have to do is enforce the regulations on blight. You can have a vacant building, you can have a vacant office front, but it doesn't have to be filled with space or the grass grown up around the side of it with rats and the like. That really discourages any activity, including walking. I believe that we need to enforce the policies that are in place regarding blight, and sometimes that means taking a property that's been vacant for 10 years, tearing it down, and having the vacant lot being cut by someone else, if not the city. The second thing is the commercial revitalization zone principle worked very well on Magazine Street and Ferret Street. Low interest loans available to those who invest in expanding or in relocating new businesses to a corridor, I think would help get some of those businesses and those buildings filled.
Thank you. Mark Laws?
Hey, how you doing? Listen, before I even start talking, I owned a business on Dowman Road. I owned a very profitable and safe business right after Katrina. It was called the Sports Cafe. It was located directly across the street from the Ace Hardware. When I decided to move into the restaurant business instead of the nightclub business, I sold it to a young entrepreneur. So I don't know what happened after that, but I actually owned a business on Dowman Road. It was very successful. And so the main thing I'm concerned about Dowman Road is to enforce the zoning ordinances, the blight enforcement. We need beautification overlays and more police presence. Believe it or not, we need police presence. If they don't do anything but patrol the area. If you have an accident on Dowman Road and Chef, it takes 3 to 4 hours for the police to come out. I know we short on police. But other than that, I understand that people want to have small mom and pop shops. But in order for Dowman Road to be a really successful business, when I said veterans, I was talking about big box, big names, other than just small mom and pops. You need to have a local, you need to have a Wendy's, a McDonald's, a Popeyes, or somebody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Laws. Morgan Clevenger?
Thank you. Day one, go in there and start with the blight, the trash, the infrastructure, the lighting. People who are in that community need to feel valued. They need to feel like their city cares about them. We love our city, but any solution
Morgan, I think your video is messing up. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
We do need economic development, but it cannot be Veterans Boulevard. And we really need to think about Magazine and Ferret, because again, we need to serve the community that's there. They need places that they feel comfortable, that has a pricing structure that's affordable for them. Mixed use, great. We can have a mixed use going on, but we need to actually serve the people and give them the opportunities, the people who are already in the district.
Thank you. Mariah Moore?
Thank you. It really saddens me that we're still not prioritizing our people. No, we don't need big box businesses on Diamond Road. We need to reinvest in small business owners and really incentivize entrepreneurship amongst our most marginalized community members, letting them know that economic opportunities are possible. We need to partner with local agencies to help us clean up our streets. We need to also get more bus shelters along Diamond so that our people also feel valued, the ones who take public transportation to and from work. We need to focus on the low-hanging fruit that have been forgotten about. There are apartments on Diamond Road that could be that could undergo beautification and facelifts. There's money that we're going to be constantly receiving because of the new infrastructure plan that just passed at the federal level. Now, I know it's going to take a while to get that money, but we have the power as a city council to push back on the budget and say we need to reallocate those funds here to get this work done. We have to prioritize our people. You know, we have models for Black business corridors. We can take that framework and use it and turn Diamond Road into what it can truly be. It can be a residential and a Black business corridor. So let's start prioritizing our people.
Thank you. Anthony Doby? Same question, 60 seconds.
Yes. I mean, development is always a tricky thing to do, because we talk about wanting to involve the neighborhood and bringing in what's going to come into the neighborhood. But unfortunately, you know, it's America and people are going to be spending their money. So they need to be free to bring whatever kind of companies and businesses to an area that they should be entitled to do. That being said, we should be looking at our zoning plan that we have, and if we need to revamp that to encourage certain types of businesses and industries to come to that area, that's what we should be doing. It should be full of things for New Orleans East and District D residents to be able to do. A bowling alley, some kind of thing that's going to give us entertainment, because that's part of the drive for the crime right now. Is when you're bored and it's hot, what else are you going to do? These people, we have to get our people at a point where they're actually having things to entertain themselves in their neighborhoods, eat in their neighborhoods, and that's when they'll actually want to move into those neighborhoods, because no one wants to live where in a neighborhood or a part of town where they have to constantly go to another part of the city to be able to enjoy themselves.
Thank you. Thank you. Next question. You'll have 60 seconds to answer. What is your understanding of the role and function of the East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission, also known as ENONAC? So each person will have 60 seconds to answer. And we're going to start with, sorry, I'm doing eeny, meeny, miny, moe here. Okay, Eugene Green.
The East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission reviews proposed projects and involves the community in determining if those projects are going to be projects that are favorable to the community. Now, notwithstanding that, I believe that that is the major role, because I've been to a couple of meetings. So if I'm wrong in terms of the charter, I want to make it clear that I'm not reading technically from the charter. That question could be a little bit off. But it is to meet with those who are interested in investing in the community in special ways to make positive recommendations as to how those projects could fit in with the culture and the neighborhoods of East New Orleans.
Thank you. Mariah Moore.
I believe my understanding of this is that they can advise city council, or they are a body that can advise city council as well as the mayoral administration about what it is they want to see in their neighborhoods. I'm sorry, and in the district. To ensure that, you know, we're bringing businesses and resources that will actually benefit them and not just making those decisions based off of a consensus from the government body.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Glover?
Yep, they were created during the session in 2019 from Act 394. Essentially what they do is advise, promote home ownership, support healthcare, property values, and really advise the city council and the mayor on issues within the community, and really support the quality of life for that area.
Thank you. Anthony Dobie?
Yeah, my understanding of basically that it was an advisory board that was basically it's an advisory board that oversees the growth of New Orleans East. Basically, wants to ensure that New Orleans East, as it's growing, is going to be a part and a voice in what actually happens in New Orleans East, and it offers advice to the city council, but also to neighborhood associations in the East. That was my understanding of what it is.
Thank you. Chantrice Burnett?
I'm sorry, I had a little disconnection. Can I get you to repeat the question, please?
Of course. What is your understanding of the role and function of the East New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission, also known as ENONAC?
So my understanding of their role is to be an advisory board, I guess, to the residents of District E, advising and being a representation for all of the different neighborhood associations, and making sure that each association has representation and their residents are being heard for their concerns, and helping the residents overcome any challenges that they may face, and as far as having representation, collective representation of the New Orleans East area.
Thank you. Timberland Sams?
So ENONAC is made up of the neighborhood associations and subdivision leadership, what they call the CAB. And that group of the ENONAC body is a governing body that engages all legislative entities, including the mayor, and I'm sorry, executive and legislative branches, that including the mayor and the city council, to ensure the quality of life of New Orleans East, of Eastern New Orleans, is acknowledged and recognized in all zoning practices and New Orleans East growth and development.
Thank you. Morgan Clevenger?
Yes. ENONAC is the voice of the people of New Orleans East. And they've done an amazing job in bringing people together around important issues. Advising the mayor and the city council, but also other elected officials, state representatives, and legislatures, because
your mic went out. I can't hear you.
they've done an amazing job. And I also think there's always opportunities to bring more people in. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mark Laws?
I'd like to first start saying I'm not small-minded enough to believe that big box can't be owned by Black-owned businesses. Henry Coxum was a big box owner. McDonald's and Popeyes was once on down the road. But to answer your question, the New Orleans Neighborhood Advisory Commission is a state legislative body of the presidents of the Homeowners Association to guide the governances and the issues of the residents of New Orleans East, ENONAC.
Thank you. Okay, and one last question. This is actually a yes or no response. If elected to be the city council person that represents District D, do you pledge to ensure that that you are involved with ENONAC, since there is a portion of New Orleans East that is represented by District D, and keep them notified by email, fax, or certified mail on all land use and budgetary matters as per Louisiana Act 394? So just a yes or no question. You don't have to elaborate. We're going to start with Ms. Sams. I couldn't hear you, but I saw you say yes.
Say yes the whole time. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Mariah Moore.
Yes.
Thank you. Mark Laws.
Unequivocally, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Eugene Green.
Absolutely, yes.
Troy Glover.
Yes.
Anthony Doby.
Yes.
Morgan Clevenger. Morgan.
Amen.
I'm sorry, I thought you heard me.
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, all right. And Chantrice Burnett.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Glover, did I pass you up?
No, you called on me. I said yes.
Okay, got you. All right. All right, thank you, guys. I'm gonna turn it back over to Brandon.
Thank you all. I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Dawn.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to let our viewers know that early voting starts on September 25th and ends on October 2nd. And the actual election is October 9th. So this is our upcoming forums that we would like everybody to tune into. And I want to just thank everyone, all of you, for participating. I know this is some crazy times. I wish you all the best of luck because I know it's a lot to do. So thank you so much. And